out of 1.3 million properties with active notice of default, less pendency in the country, guess which state in the country has the most number of notices? New York. 10% of the 1.3 million properties with active notice of foreclosures, they are in New York, an incredible market. New York market is very tricky how it works. In this video, I'm going to give you the timeline for the foreclosure and explain to you exactly how it works. Log into your account at leadcruncher.com. On the top left corner, we're going to click on the tab called pre-foreclosure data. Lead Cruncher is pretty simple. It tracks 3,400 counties in the country. Every day, new notices come, and every day, the reinstatement or cancellation of some of these notices come. Every day, some of the properties that we track, they sell. So we constantly add and remove records to our system. On the top left corner, we can see pre-foreclosure data. There are 1.3 million property records in all the states in the country. And if we select the state of New York, there are exactly 10% of the property records, which is 130,000 properties with active notice of less pendants in the system. Now, to take this data forward, we can, for example, say New York pre-foreclosures. New York pre-foreclosures. We can select by county. For example, let's select New York. There are 5,617 property records, 5,617 property records in 161 zip codes. Again, one click. If you want to add more counties, you can just select the county and click, and it will add all those zip codes to it. We can go further. We can choose between properties that are owned by investors or properties that are owned by individuals. If you're looking for commercial properties, industrial properties, properties that are typically owned by business entities like office building, high rises, folks, it doesn't matter what type of a property it is. There are 320 property types, but a property that is in default must pass through this door. Choose, do we want to go back 6 months in time or 12 months in time? The portion on the bottom, leave that one alone. That's a different type of notices because we cover 3,200 counties. Then every county is different. But this category here covers every county in the country. Next, we can choose between commercial properties, residential, industrial, farmland, but we'll leave this page alone. And for the sake of this example, let's just click Save and Checkout. We have 818 property records in the search. We're going to click Export. And yes, we want to get all these records with one click. Okay. This list is being generated. At the same time, a copy of this list is going to be sent to Data Manager. Let me take you there. Data Manager is like a filing cabinet. It's a data stacker. It stacks every property records that you have here. Not only that, every record that comes here, right now you can see these records for New York, they are being processed. They are at the post office, and post office is validating the property and the mailing addresses for us for the purpose of stacking the data. Watch, the process is live and it's just completed right now. So what we have here in New York, we have 442 records of properties that post office validate the property information. We can click here and go further into the file. In here, we can see that there are 53 records of properties have the same mailing addresses. These are individuals with more than one property, or could it be that one person owns 53 properties? Absolutely, because we are tracking the mailing address here. Let's dedupe the property mailing address and property addresses. Anything that we delete here, it doesn't delete permanently. It goes to another folder in a system called My Data Deleted, and we can see them all right here. Now we go back. Okay, our records are ready now. We can do this. We can take all of this record and we can push this data, for example, to the TripleDialer. Or if you want to see the properties that are owned by LLCs, here it is. These are all investor-owned properties. Now we can, for example, take all of these records and push them to the dialer, or we can say, you know what? I want to delete all these investor-owned properties. I want to select only the individual-owned property records. Let's also delete the corporation records. Okay, here are the properties owned in corporation. Let's also delete this one. I want you to know that you can take a file and then change it, revise it in any form or shape that you want. All right, now we have 226 property records that are owned by individual, probably about 98% of them. I like to take these records and move them to TripleDialer for the purpose of skip tracing and contacting the individual. All I have to do is select all these 226 records and choose the option Add to Dialer. New York pre-foreclosures. Our file just arrived to TripleDialer. With one click, we can take a look at this property records. We can see the property on Zillow. You can see our records are updated before even Zillow gets updated. Probably in a day or two, Zillow is going to get a copy of this notice. Now we can look at the individual record. For example, here's a property. Right there is a new property, unoccupied, properties in default. What does it tell? What am I telling you? There is a lot of opportunities here. If I wanted to contact the individual right here, I can skip trace with one click. I can get the phone number to the mailing address of the subject property and contact the individual. Or I can look at the file and say, I want to skip trace the entire file right here. With one click for nominal fee of $33. We can get 226 records of skip trace. We can get phone numbers and email addresses with about 80 to 90% accuracy. I can also export the file right from the system. If I also want to export the file, with one click, I can export my file. If you like the content of this video, you find more videos like it on my channel. We hear this from people all the time, but those little mouse clicks will go a long way to help me in the algorithm. So please click the little thumb guy. Please subscribe and help yourself with all my tools linked in the descriptions. These are tools me and my team have developed over the years. Tools I wish I had when I started in real estate. Thank you for watching and have a great day.